Alright everybody, so this is my personal block, a Dart Little M that we're going to do. We're going to redo the engine in my personal race car because I had frost heaved the block, so we got a new block. But one of the things me and Steve are going to do is lighten it. So there it is, 195 pounds. When we get it all sorted out and do some carving and whittling on this thing, we'll weigh it and see how much weight we can take out of it. Alright, so don't mind the mess here, but I wanted to weigh my block. We got it out of the car, got it all stripped down. Wanted to weigh it the same way I weighed the other one, and as you can see, she is 194.5 pounds, so it's only a half pound lighter than the block at work, the new Little M. And the Little M is going to get put on a diet, so we should be able to ditch a little bit of weight, or at least compensate for the weight that we're going to add with the dry sump. We're going to add some weight with the dry sump because of the tank and that. We had a vacuum pump and a wet sump pump on here before. Now we got a 6-stage dry sump that we're going to, and the tank and a little bit of extra plumbing and stuff that takes is going to add some weight, but hopefully we can take 25 pounds or so out of the block with some lightning programs at work and go from there. Alright guys, so we got my block in our line bore machine and we are opening up the cam tunnel. So this is a Dart Little M block, as I've told you, and now I'm putting a 55 millimeter cam in. So we've got to open up the housing bore to accept a much larger bearing. So not part of our lightning program, but I'll take it. Anyways, when we get done with this, we're going to bore and hone it and do the lifter sleeves and all that, reweigh the block, see how much that took out of it, and then do our lightning program and see how much weight we take out of it that way. But here's another thing we can do down here at Westside is we can make any cam tunnel size you want basically with the line bore machine.
So we've cut the bearing journals to size. Now we're relief cutting in between so you can be able to get the bearing in there. And here we finally got the crankshaft in for mine. So it's a 3.6 25 stroke small block Chevy with a big block Chevy snout. The only reason I did that now is because I have plans to build a boosted motor in the future, and if I don't sell this engine complete, I'll take this crankshaft and build a ProCharge motor with it. This is the Cali's Ultra Boost billet. It took a chunk of time to get it. We've been waiting on this for quite a while, but we've got it and it's nice. So anyways, we pretty much I have all the parts and pieces for my build, new auto Verity pump and things. So we'll kind of show you this as we go, but first thing is I'm going to show you what that thing's going to weigh when we get done. Here we are boring my block out for my pistons, which is a 4.155 bore. So we're boring it 4.151 to take about 4th out in the hone, plus we're going to hot hone it. Alright, so one of the machining operations we have to do on my block is open up the lifter bores. So a standard lifter bore in a small block Chevy is 842, 843, and that's like a 7, I can't remember exactly, 740 wheel, 730 wheel. And that's your standard, that's a hydraulic, but that's your standard roller lifter for a small block Chevy. And we are going to run, in mine, we're running a 937 Speedway Jessel. It gives you a lot bigger wheel. So the wheel is 850, and an 850 wheel allows you to be more aggressive with the camshaft because it reduces that shear angle, and then you get the shear pressure back by getting more aggressive with the camshaft. So anyways, that's what we're putting in this thing, is a 937, and so we got to take out the lifter bores in the block to accept the lifter bore sleeves that are cut for the keyway, and that's a little over 1 inch. And then these go in with about a 1.5 press, and then you put them in, and then we end up having to cut these back out and hone them to fit the actual lifter. There's a few steps involved in making your lifter bores bigger, and the first step on the block is we have to come in and spot face where we're going to put each lifter bore, and the lifter bores are already there, but that casting's not real flat right there, so we come in with this bit, and it clearances the side of the block a little bit for the bigger bore, but then it also just spot face the front, so we have a square flat plate surface to start our process of taking the bore bigger, so that it doesn't try to kick it off to one side or the other. So the first thing we do is this process right here of spot facing it, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so now that these are all spot faced, mainly it's just to take and get it flat on the back. Now we can start boring the lifter bores out to accept the new lifter sleeves, and that is going to be, so we're starting at 0.845, and we got to get it out to a 1.061, which is 216 thousandths that we're going to remove from the block to put the lifter sleeves in. And it's several cuts, because with our machine and the cutting head that we use, which Steve's setting up right now, we take out about 30 thou a cut is about all we can do, and the last couple cuts we'll do a little bit shorter of that to get it as good as we can get it. So that's where we're at. Alright, so tonight we've got my block back out of the machine. We got it bored, and we got the lifter bores bored for the new lifter bore bushings, and then I needed to do some mock-up to make sure that I don't make a mistake in installing the lifter bore bushings, because you have to orientate them correctly, and I'll show you kind of what that's about. So I'm looking at my head where you need the offsets to be, and you can kind of see down in there. So we bored the lifter bores out so that they will accept the new keyway bushing. And so how a keyway lifter work is, you see that keyway cut into the lifter bore bushing. We need to orientate that, and we have a special Jessel tool to drive these in and get them in perfect alignment so that the wheel is straight, and that's what guides the lifter. We don't run a link bar with these style of lifters, which is awesome. So you get rid of the link bar by that keyway riding in there. It won't fit in there now because they still need to be sized for the lifter. So we got this bored out so that it's got about a thou and a half crush. I'll set the orientation because these lifters got 150 thou offset. So you got rights and lefts, and we want to make sure that we just get the best push rod alignment and not hitting the head as we can. That's why we got them. And then I'll set the orientation. I'll drive these guys in, or press them in basically, and then it'll be ready tomorrow, Saturday. Me and Steve are going to come in again. Steve's going to help me out, and we'll put this back in the machine. We'll be able to open the lifter bore bushings open so that the lifters will fit, and we'll be able to deck it, and then we'll start working on all the stuff we're going to take off on the outside. So we're going to sheen all that away. We're going to lighten some things. We'll kind of take you through. We're going to write some programs so that we can do it for other people on a Dart Little M block, or we should be able to do some of this stuff on an SHP block, anything that's kind of standard. We'll be able to program for the oil and engine mounts. Should be kind of universal to more than just this block, but we'll probably have to tweak it for each block. But anyways, so that's what the mock-up's all about, is mainly just so I don't make a mistake. I pretty much knew where the orientation should be, but I just wanted to double check it and take a look at it. So anyways, I'll show you a picture of when we got some bushings installed. So we got one lifter bore bushing in, and you'll see it's got the keyway on this side, which puts our offset when I get the lifter in there to that side, which is what we want. I thought if I can do this one-handed, I'll show you kind of how this Jessel tool works and how you install the bushings. So like this, the keyway's on this side. That's not how we would want it. It would offset it to the intake runner, and we'd be pissed off. So, or actually the exhaust, sorry. But we want it that way, so it offsets it away. So what we have here is the Jessel tool. So this goes in the cam tunnel, and it's got a hole there. So put that in the cam tunnel and get it orientated to the next lifter, which is right in there about. And we've got the keyway on this side because we want the lifter to come to the front of the block a little bit, 150 thou. So that'll work. So then, I don't know if I can do this one-handed or not. So you got this side of the tool, which has got a sleeve on it. Oops, sorry. It's got a sleeve on it because we don't have bushings in yet. So we're going to set that down on this end, like so. And then this part of the tool, I'm going to have to set you down for a second, but this part of the tool is where we put our new bushing. So there we got it, and it's got, let's see here, two little indicators to, I'm doing a horrible job here. Let me hold on. So this is the other side of the tool, and if you see right there, there's a little pin, and on the other side in the keyway, there's a little pin that orientates it. So you just got to set it up so that it's going the right direction for where you want your keyway. So we want the keyway this way. So we'll set that down in there. All right, I'm by myself tonight and I don't have a tripod or anything, so I'm doing a horrible job of filming this for you, but this is what the Jessel tool looks like. And so these flats on here align it so that the lifter bushing is going in perfectly square, so that the roller, when it's in the keyway, the roller will be running perfectly true with the camshaft. Kind of important. So anyway, so that's how you align it. And then you set the depth in here. On this tool here, you set how much you want it to stay above the cam. And then this goes in here and you run this through bolt, and it bolts this and it pulls this up tight to where the lifter bore comes into the cam tunnel. And then you just screw it down until it hits this surface, and then your lifter bore is perfectly set, your new bushing. And all you got to do is turn it down. You can see the bushing going in. And like I say, they only have about a thou to a thou and a half press on them. That's about all you need. So there, we're about halfway down. Move this out of the way. See. Coming close. There, it got tight. It's home. Don't want to squash on the bronze too hard. And that's it. Back this up and we'll go on to the next one. So, doing a horrible job of filming tonight, so I will kind of show you what it looks like when it's done. Before I did this though, I made sure I cleaned out the lifter bore oil galleys really well. Yes, it's going to go back in the machine and get dirty again, but I wanted to make sure that there was no bits in there that were bigger than what could come out of the oil bands now, because the oil bands, that's the oil band now. So you start to really restrict once the lifter bore bushing's in there. I needed to make sure that there was no particles bigger in between the lifters that we couldn't get out. So we cleaned all that up real well. Now we can put these in. We can re-machine it. Nothing can get in the oil galley bigger than what we can pass through, other than at the ends, which we can get to all that just to make sure it's clean. I'd kind of like to put these in after all the machining was done. Just kind of isn't really possible with what we're doing here. So anyways, I'll show you what it looks like when I get it done. So there we go. Took a little while, but there are all the lifter bushings in with the keyway orientated correctly. There we go. So that's about it for me tonight. Tomorrow, me and Steve will work on doing some more machine work to the block and hopefully start doing the outside lightning stuff that I'm pretty excited about. Jolie and Roscoe have hung out with me tonight, and I think we are ready to go home. You ready to go home, Roscoe? Roscoe, you ready to go? Jolie, you ready to go? All right. Here we are back in the machine. She's got it back up in here, and now we're boring the lifter sleeves for the lifters. After I got them installed last night. That's the program. Take a couple cuts and get these so that we have about 1 8/10 to 2 thou clearance from the lifters to the lifter bushing.